After my video about 5 villains that I thought should be included in the next Batman Arkham game, I wanted to look at 5 Batsuits, that I thought should actually be in the game. Now, I went through a number of criteria when picking these. This is a subjective list, but one thing I was looking for was suits that we had not seen before. Suits that had not been in the main 4 Arkham games. I'm going to admit to you, off the top of my head, I don't know the Batsuits that were in Origins Blackgate, or if there even were any alternate suits. I don't really remember. So I had to meticulously go through and look at the rest of the games, and then I looked at Blackgate and I was like, you know what, who cares? I'm not counting this in this list. So these are suits that were not in the original Batman Arkham games that I believe should be in the next title. The first one is the Gods and Monsters Batsuit. Now, this is a Batsuit from the movie Justice League Gods and Monsters. It has art by Bruce Timm. It's one of the Bruce Timm projects that's technically not really considered in the DCAU, but I'm sure if you ask somebody, they'd probably say it's an alternate reality of the DCAU, so that's a rabbit hole and an argument that I'm not going to get into. But this Batsuit is actually worn not by Bruce Wayne, but by Kirk Langstrom. You might remember Kirk Langstrom in the comics and in Batman Arkham Knight being Man-Bat. Now, in this reality, he was not Man-Bat, he was actually Batman, but he was pretty much a vampire bat, but in human form. And I'm simplifying his origin completely. As far as his Batsuit, I think it's very unique and interesting. It has red goggles. They resemble a little bit the Batman Beyond shape eyes, at least the eye slits of those goggles, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty new to this Batsuit. He still has the iconic ears, but his helmet is more of a techie looking futuristic one. He has white inside the suit, so the chest has a white chest stripe all the way down with a white utility belt, along with some white little things on the legs and on the arms. I thought this was interesting because it looks very different from most of the Batsuits we've gotten, so I think it would help really liven up the Batsuit bunch of the Arkham series by just being something we haven't seen, and also a nice little reference to a Bruce Timm project, and I love Bruce Timm projects. So for number 2, I have the Batman Rebirth suit. This is from the Rebirth line of DC Comics, and it was considered, at the time of coming out, like one of the best Batsuits in a lot of years. It's very unique and interesting, but also classic at the same time. It has a black bat with a gold-yellow icon outline around that, and that's one of the defining features of this, is that's not only around the Batsuit, but also around the utility belt, which is black and yellow. Cue the music that I'm not going to play because I don't want to get copyright stricken. Now, there's details on the gloving, like lines, and on the boots, but really the key defining aspect of this suit is just the black hues of the cowl and the cape, along with how the oranges and golds complement each other on the belt and emblem. It's not one that a lot of people mention very often when talking about Batsuits because it is a bit of a riff off of the New 52 Batsuit, but that suit was received pretty well in Arkham Knight and very detailed, and I thought that would be kind of a building block for making this. I think this suit would fit in well, but I also think it has enough personality to stand out a little bit and seem a little stylish in the current line of Batsuits. Now, the third Batsuit that I want in the game is a little bit of a deep cut. It's not one I expect to make it in there, but it would be awesome if it did, especially since we did previously get suits like Darkest Night and even Sinestro Corps Batman, so I don't really think that this is totally off the table. But that is another DC Animated Universe skin, Batsuit, I should say, which would be the Justice Lord's Batman Batsuit. Now, this Batsuit was from an alternate timeline / alternate dimension in the DCAU where the Justice League kind of became very fascist and totalitarian in their dealing out of justice after the death of the Flash. I don't want to get into a lot of the details of the episode in case you haven't seen it and still really want to, but it's a very interesting and dark take on the Bruce Wayne Batman, while also sort of feeling like he doesn't feel heartless in that episode. It does match up with the Earth Prime DCAU Batman, and I think that the suit itself is very stylish. It's a little bit of an invert of that normal DCAU Batman Justice League look. The ears are more spread out to the sides a little bit instead of going straight up and down, so there's a little bit of a side swipe of those ears. He has a silver bat in the middle of his chest instead of a black, because whereas his suit normally would have been gray, now it is mostly black, and the cape and cowl are closer to grayish black, with some gray tinges on the arms and legs, and a gray silver bat in the middle, along with a gray utility belt. So it's a little bit of a turning on the head of the original Justice League Batsuit. My fourth Batsuit is actually one of my favorite Batsuits that I've seen in comics at least, and that is a Batsuit that not a lot of people really remember because the storyline it was in didn't sell very well, but it's really good. And that's Scott Snyder's 0 Year Batsuit. This is from Batman starting out as Batman. You can see that also because there's the homage to the first appearance Batman suit with the purple gloves on this thing. I think that's pretty sick. His boots are technically like a combat boot type thing that go over the tights. He still has a utility belt, but it has a lot of different pouches on it instead of the metallic pouches that we normally see. And he also is wearing, like these textured elements on his Batsuit. It's hard to describe, you'll see it in the picture, but it's basically these black lines that go not only around the torso and the arms, but also down the shins of the legs, and they're sort of on the side of the hips as well, although it's harder to see that because you have to find an image that is from the side, and most of the time comic book illustrators show the characters from the front or back. It's the easiest place to get detail. So that's most of what's online to see with this one. But I always thought this was super cool. I think the homage to that first appearance Batsuit is really special and makes it feel like the writer of this storyline, Scott Snyder, along with Greg Capullo, who drew this, it's like they really cared about that source material while also making it their own. And frankly, I actually like this better than the first appearance Batsuit. I know that has a lot more sentimental value to Golden Age enthusiasts, but we've already seen that before. This is a list of new Batsuits we haven't seen, and I'm not counting the homage in this as something old. I think it's new enough that it's very stylish, and it could be super detailed in-game, especially in a game coming out in 2019 or 2020 that I would assume is going to have very detailed graphics anyway. My last suit is the Jim Gordon Batman Batsuit. This suit is interesting. It has some mixed elements in it, and oh, by the way, I'm not talking about the very militarized metal Batsuit, the bat mech that he wears in the comics. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the Batsuit underneath. Now, in some ways, it reminds a lot of people of Batman Beyond. There is no cape with this thing. It has a bat symbol in the middle and not a lot of detailing to it, and that's why some people think of it as the Batman Beyond suit. I can see that since it's more of a bodysuit, but I always thought it looked a little more a mixture of the Batman Beyond suit and also the Batman Rebirth suit. So even though the Rebirth suit came after this, they kind of kept that gold outline from this and almost incorporated that into the Rebirth suit. But instead, in this, the gold outline is just the bat. There is no bat inside it, it's just the gold outline. It has some markings on the shoulders and the arms, and he usually would carry around some type of gun since he was a law enforcement officer. This was Jim Gordon. And depending on the picture, it was either blacker or bluer. It would depend on what scene this was in. But I think that could be kind of left up to WB Games Montreal, what direction they'd want to go with the coloring of it. I just think it's a very cool military-looking Batsuit that is sleek in design. It has some neat belts on it, along with a holster, and I think that it fits in with the series while also being different enough. That was something I really looked at with this, is what could fit while being different enough to give the player a sense of customization and agency, that they get to play as the Batsuit they want to be. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below if you have some ideas of Batsuits you'd want to see. I'm hoping I was able to edit this down to an appropriate amount of time that's not extremely long, but I am looking forward to seeing your recommendations, and let me know if there's other Batman video ideas that you have for the future. Do you want me to do another list of some kind? Would you want to see 5 more Batsuits that I would want to see? Would you want to see that maybe mixed with Batsuits you want to see? Do you want me to go back to the villains that we want to see in the game? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. I appreciate all of you. Oh, hey, if you haven't checked it out, because I know this is not a Batman video and a lot of people didn't click on it, I recently put up a video thanking all of you because I have hit over 500 subscribers, and I get very kind of personal in there, so I would really appreciate it if you check it out and watch a video where I almost cry in it because I'm a wimp. So I will see you in the next one. Have an awesome day, and good night.